What is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about TV shows that I watch, that some of you may watch, that are being canceled this year, or they're just ending. But, a lot of people say ending is being canceled, especially if you didn't know going into the season. And that is the case for a lot of these shows. But before we jump into that, if you are new here, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can become a channel member. I have perks. We have a live stream every Tuesday where we have some fun. So guys, just feel free to do that. Run this video up in the algorithm, guys. Run it up like you do my live streams, and that will be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's jump into this thing. Remember, these are shows that I watch. You may watch some of them, but these are shows that I watch. I'm not covering every show that was canceled or slated to have a final season this year because, well, I don't watch everything. I watch a lot of stuff. I watch a variety of things. So hopefully some of these will resonate with you guys, and you can let me know in the comment section down below. So let's start out with Walker. They just announced Walker was ending Tuesday during my live stream. Now, why? Why will you ask? Because, well, Nexstar and the CW, they just suck now. Like, Nexstar came in, took over that network, and literally canceled everything. They canceled everything. Like, everything that people love from that network, everything may not have been a hit, but they canceled everything. It's just funny to see how Nexstar came in and killed a network. And it's just reminiscent on what they did to the UPN and the WB back in the day before it became the CW. It just seems like a pattern at this point. And well, after Superman and Lois airs in the fall this season, I won't be watching anything on that channel. So I mean, I can care less now. Next up, one of the more shocking ones, Power. Power Book 2 Ghost. That was canceled out of nowhere. Not even the cast knew. Now, why, may you ask? Well, because a couple days before that, they announced that they were doing a prequel series about Ghost and Tommy called Power Origins. Now, when they announced that, I immediately knew something's getting canceled. Now, call me crazy, but I thought it was going to be the Tommy show, or I thought they were going to end Kanan, or maybe they would end BMF. No, they ended Power Book 2 Ghost. The actors didn't know. The cast didn't know. And according to the CEO of Starz, he basically, in so many words, he said he doesn't want to keep pouring money into original IPs that have like expensive casts. And on Power Book 2 Ghost, Michael Rainey is racking up a bag because he's coming over from the original series. You got Mary J. Blige, you got Method Man. You got all of these huge stars that they do cost a lot, but it still sucks that we couldn't get a proper final season. I really hope that this does not end on a cliffhanger. But again, they were finished filming, so they decided to split it up into two parts just to make it stretch for the entire year. But yeah, that's sad that Power is coming to an end, but I am going to enjoy this final season. Next up, The Good Doctor just ended. I want to say like 2 days ago, just ended 2 days ago, when I found out that it was ending it was ending with an abrupt 7th season. I was shocked because I thought that this show could at least go to like season 8 or 9 or even 10. The Good Doctor was always good to me. I've enjoyed that show since it debuted in 2018. And no reason as to why it's ending that I could find. But yeah, at least they did give it a final season. Sucks it had to come right after the strike, but it did end on a sad but high note, I guess. That show was great, though. If you like The Good Doctor, let me know down below. Next up, Station 19. This is the one that pissed me off. You give a final season. You cancel Station 19. You cancel Station 19, but you keep Grey's Anatomy. But you give Grey's Anatomy budget cuts. Why not just end Grey's Anatomy and let Station 19 keep going? Station 19 is only on what, season 7 right now? I believe it's season 7. Let me look that up right now. Yep, 7 seasons. That it deserved more. I loved this show from the first time. I started binge watching Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy during the pandemic in 2020 just because there was nothing else on, and I immediately fell in love with it. A lot of people may know that I love procedural dramas, like Fire Country, stuff like that. I love that type of stuff. I love seeing actors portray those type of fields, like being a police officer, a SWAT officer, stuff like that. I love seeing that. And Station 19 just won my heart. The characters, the writing is constantly amazing every week. The storylines that they do from season 1 up until now have been amazing. The CGI, the special effects that they use, the practical effects, it's been 10 out of 10 across the board. Not everything is perfect. But for the most part, this show has never let me down, and I'm sad to see it go. Next up, CSI Vegas. Don't get me started on CSI Vegas. 3 seasons, and then you didn't let them know in enough time while they were filming, so you have to end on several cliffhangers. Pissed me off. 1, because I love the CSI franchise. 2, this revival was fitting, and it was freaking amazing. You let it get to 3 seasons, then you canceled it. Why? Why did they cancel it? That's a good question. They canceled it because they just didn't have any room on the fall schedule. But you're pushing a whole bunch of stuff to mid-season. So why not do the same thing with CSI Vegas? Right? The cancellation reasons for this year alone are just mind-boggling and dumb to me. But next up, Superman and Lois. Oh, Superman and Lois. Now, hear me out. Superman and Lois is getting a final season. They were announced as such. This show could have been flat out axed because it was in limbo for so long, but I'm so glad that we are getting a proper final season. 10 episodes, that's all I need. It went 4 seasons. I'm glad it didn't try to push. Well, I won't say I'm glad. I wanted it to try to push past, but then again, we know how some of these CW superhero shows can get if they go for too long. So I'm glad they get to end it on their terms. This show has been constantly amazing since season 1. I love Tyler Hoechlin as Superman and Clark Kent. I love Bitsy Tulloch as Lois Lane. I'm going to miss these portrayals. But all good things may come to an end, I guess. They must come to an end. So, yeah. We know what's going on with the CW. We know what's going on with Nexstar. This was not a shock to me. It hurt, but it was not a shock. So next up, not dead yet, just unceremoniously canceled. I have no clue why. Had steady ratings. They just canceled it. And I loved this show. I really did love Not Dead Yet. The premise of it all, of, just you're writing obituaries, and then you see the dead person that you're writing about. You get to talk to them, and they help you with your every day-to-day problems of the week. The cast of the show was freaking amazing, and it ended with somebody else finding out her secret, but we can't figure out where that's gonna lead because you canceled it. Calm down. Upload. It's an Amazon Prime show. It's a great show. It deals with the afterlife and AI and all of this other stuff. It's cool. It's a pretty cool concept. I've loved this show since its inception. Robbie Amell being the lead, Andy Allo being the female lead. The cast along with them is freaking amazing. I'm not going to even try to remember half their names, but the cast along with them is freaking amazing. And it's been announced for a final season. Amazon Prime shows do not have a long shelf life anyway. And the space between these seasons, it's been on for a while. It's been on since the pandemic. I remember staying up with my wife, binge watching the first season, even though I had to be at work at like 5 a.m. We stayed up till 3 binge watching that whole first season because it was just that good. If you have not seen Upload, please check it out on Amazon Prime. You will not be disappointed. I can promise you that. Next up, Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is having its final season after being a YouTube show and then getting moved over to Netflix and seeing a revitalization there. That's why I picked up on it. Again, I started watching Cobra Kai during the pandemic, and now I can't get enough of that show. I love Cobra Kai. The characters. Miguel is my favorite character on the show. Like, nobody can... hey. 6 seasons, successful run. They're splitting up season 6 into 2 parts. Man, 2018 to 2024. That's a phenomenal run. And this show has never had a bad episode. Like the action, the fact that it's always funny to me, the fact that these kids just break out into full-fledged Power Ranger fights in the middle of hallways, in the middle of a mall, just breaking into a dojo in the middle of the night. They start kicking each other's butts. But yeah, this show, the show has been great. It will always be great, and I am very excited for its final season. Next up, NCIS Hawaii unceremoniously canceled. Why? I have no clue. Maybe the no room on the schedule. I don't know. It's a bad look because this was like a female-led iteration, and a lot of the actors and stuff, they leaned into that. So I don't know why the network did what they did. I will never understand why networks do what they do unless the show is just like god awful or just costs a lot or it's slated to only be a 1-season show. If it's slated to be a miniseries, okay, cool. But just canceling something that's doing great is always mind-boggling to me. But you can. Ever since COVID, we've seen a shift in how TV productions and film productions and streaming productions work. So I just chalk it up to the strike having something to do with it. I don't know. Everything did get pushed back. So, I have no clue. Next up, Raven's Home was canceled. Although the last season did end last summer. It was just announced that it was canceled by Disney. But Raven did strike up a deal with Disney, and they're now doing a spinoff called Alice in the Palace. Don't judge me. I loved Raven's Home, and I have 4 daughters who love to watch Disney productions. So we watched that, and we will be watching Alice in the Palace. Judge me if you want to. I don't care. Next up, That Girl Lele. Again, judge me if you want to. I don't care. That Girl Lele, that show was goated. I watched it with my daughters. Of course, I did not watch it by myself. I watched it with my kids. Did not expect this show to get canceled. It really only had 2 seasons, but like season 2 was long as ever. Like, we do know that the showrunner and creator did unfortunately pass a while back unexpectedly, and they kept the show going. It had a great run. Man, sad to see that show go. That show was really, really good. Next up, Wolfpack. We just thought we had it all towards the beginning of 2023. A revival of Teen Wolf and then a new series from Jeff Davis. But it was not long for this world. Paramount Plus ended up canceling a lot of stuff last year. And well, this was one of the unfortunate ones that also got the axe. And I loved Wolfpack. Dude, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed that Wolfpack got canceled. Season 2 was going to be freaking amazing. I loved the new lore, learning how Jeff Davis was weaving in different things from his previous shows. Sarah Michelle Gellar, like, come on. They brought her back. She was a freaking werewolf this time. Like, come on. Their powers, how everything works when they were in close proximity. I love the characters. Man, the show was great and it had potential, but we will never see that potential lived out, I guess. If I can say it that way, we will never see it lived out. That sucks, but that's the way it goes, right? Next up, Grownish. Now, Grownish wasn't canceled. It was slated for a final season, but with this being the last surviving show of the ish universe, I guess, Blackish, Mixedish, Grownish, it's officially over now. I love this show. I loved how they brought in a new cast. Did kind of like a Glee thing, show a new class towards the end, but it was still a mix because it was Junior from Blackish, and then you still had Zoe in there. But this show ended on a high point, and I'm really glad that the show had a great run. It was funny. It kept you invested. Yes, Zoe was always an annoying character. That's why I'm glad we got Junior, because he had his own problems. And then you still had like Aaron and I can't think of the other guy's name right now. I'm drawing a mind blank because, like, thinking about all these shows that I'm losing this year, it's really hard for me. It's really hard for me, and it sucks. But guys, that's all I have for right now. More shows may get canceled today, but that's all I have. How do you feel about some of these shows? Have you seen any of them? Let me know down below in the comment section, and let's have a discussion about it. Remember, if you are new here, first of all, like this video. Secondly, subscribe to my channel. 3, share this video around to your friends. And I'll catch you all next time.